there, Tim Tanner, Tanner's Tamarack Farm. Well, here you're going to get the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, the way I like to do it, though, is look at it is it should be the bad, the ugly, then the good, because you want to end your day on a good positive note. So, the bad thing is about 5 o'clock on a Friday, combine loses bearings in an idler pulley. So, which caused some sparks to fly, getting some bean dust, a little bit of fire, got the heart racing, threw the fire extinguisher at it, grabbed the garden hose from the neighbors, put it out. Getting a little better at this. I would have videotaped it, but just a lot going on last night. So, the bad thing is, that's the ugly. The bad thing is it happens Friday at 5. We call for parts, can't get parts until Monday. So, the good thing is it's 70 degrees. We only have 40 acres of beans left. A lot of corn left, but I got to bring a load to Reading, which is paying a few more cents than our normal stop. So I made a little bit more extra money. So maybe I can buy my little daughter a new pair of shoes and maybe mama a glass of wine and help out with that. But when I get back to the farm, I'll show you kind of what happened. We'll go from there, look things over. But it was exciting. But we're getting a lot of things fixed today. And when we get back there, I'll kind of show you what my dad and brother have been wrench turning. See, I'm not much of the patient weight wrench turner. I'm more of the truck driver. Let's just get done. And little tense around the farm right now, so I'd just rather be by myself, kind of chill. So, but keep you posted.
Hold on. Okay.
Just got back to the farm. We were back here at the shop. My dad and brother have been working on this combine. I'm going to explain to you kind of what happened last night around 5 o'clock. This is an idler pulley. The bearings sit in here, and this sits back in here on this shaft, and the belt runs back off this pulley all the way back and runs our rotors to help clean the grain out of the combine. So what happened is those bearings went out and started heating up and throwing sparks, and bearings were going out, and all them sparks get on this soybean dust that's on this combine and starts on a fire. So what happens, we had soybean dust back in here behind this pulley. We had to put those out. It was smoldering there. I'm up here by the fan. There was some leaves caught up in there from, getting close to the fence rows. We did just blow it out because of the warm weather of the radiator, so we just did clean that out, but somehow, more leaves get in there when you're next to the fence rows, get sucked in there, so those caught on fire, so we hit that with the fire extinguisher. Then this is pulling the fan on the bottom, is pulling air back into the help clean the grain. So it was actually throwing some flames inside, so we had to get inside the top, water down the rotors, just smolder a little bit. Nothing, too heavy. Also, somehow it flew sparks between the cab and the combine up in there. Thank God for the neighbors. They were kind enough to let us use their hose, so we didn't have to call Springport Fire Department, which we've had to do before. They're great guys. Helped us out quite a bit. So now is what they're going to do is the rest of the days they're going to work on getting all these belts off, and so when the parts do come in, we can slap everything back together. So they're going to, they're more mechanics than I am. That's why I'm in the green truck. But they're going to work and keep turning wrenches. So other than that, they also, while we're down, they put a new sieve in the back of the combine. So this is a sieve right back here, and the grain comes across like this and separates while the cobs, when everything's separating the debris, the fans blow out and the grain slips in there. So they put a new one in there because this one had was broke. So a couple little bit of cobs. I mean, we could have kept running all year, but we were getting a little bit of too much cobs, so we're going to change it out. But that's what those guys have been doing while I've been hauling grain. My Uncle Chet stopped by. He only lives over there. He just checking in on us, saying hi. But appreciate you filming it. Got back here to the shop after delivering that grain, and brother and my dad got the combine, the belt's all ripped off. So getting ready for them parts to come in Monday so we can put it all back together. My brother, he's been working on this after he got done with this farming job, never stops it seems. So what we're doing here is this is the corn head. And it harvests, it goes on top in front of the combine and harvests the corn. And we're replacing these snapping rolls. Now, what they had on was this, it was a prototype. It's kind of an aftermarket. It was called Shred Select, and we couldn't get the corn to come in here and feed right because they were all worn out. So what we're doing is kind of a long process job, but this is one rebuilt. So we got to tear off all this stuff, the chains, the guards, the deck plate, and get in here. That's what it looks like once we rebuild it. And here he's in the middle of rebuilding this one right here. So we stripped everything off, we punched, and I'll show you here in a minute when we do this one how we punch those off. But then he lines these up just so you can fit a business card in there. So when the corn comes in here, it'll pull it down and the corn snaps off and goes in. So it's kind of a tedious job, so that's why my brother's doing it. He's kind of a perfectionist. So I'm going to start tearing this one down. We'll take a video of how we pop these Shred Selects off. And now these are what normally come on there. So these are an aftermarket, what we're taking off, but these are normally what goes on. So I will show you punching those ones off here in a minute. All right, I'm tearing down this front row first because Mr. Perfectionist over there just don't think we did the first one just close enough. So you want me to re-break this down. So pretty much how we did it, we just loosen these chains here, kick this way up, loosens these chains, and then we slide the deck plates out this way. The problem was the corn was coming in here and it just wouldn't feed because they were so wore out, and we couldn't get the corn. Normally you want the corn to come in here, and by the time the ear hits and snaps off, you want it kind of right here about 3/4 of the way. So, and we couldn't get it. It was like right here, and we were getting too much head shelling on the ground where it was shelling right out of here, and you know, losing a lot of bushels. So we decided to pull off and get her right. That's what we're up to. All right, to get these Shred Select snapping rolls off, you gotta, we unbolted them here, and now you gotta find these little slits in the knives, I'd call them, and
I took the key out of the combine, put it in the window sill, I'm draining the oil out of it.
sounds good. So you can see how it's wedging them apart, and it's kind of separating them. Do that. We're gonna roll it a little bit. We'll come back here and take this screwdriver on this shaft. I'm gonna just till he tells me.
A little bit more.
Telling me he's good right there. Farming ain't easy. It ain't for suits and ties, let's say that. Hard working.
Okay, you want to go roll it back?
Yep, we'll roll it one more time. It's kind of neat to see how these were created. I mean, I'd really like to see them used, you know, or brand new on the machine, but we bought it used, and I think they were a little wore out by the time we got to them. So.
Slow. Keep going. Good.
But we just decided to go back original. We're gonna have this head for another 4 or 5 years.
I gotta go get a smaller punch. If you want to get underneath and take a video and show how it's gonna fall out of it.
You see how it's starting to break apart from the square? Oh, and it's off. And that's how you get the Shred Selects off. Like I said, farming ain't easy. So that's what a claw snap and roll looks like. It's actually just a square shaft, and then you lay these two knives in there. There's 4 sets of them, and that's actually what builds your snap and roll. So I mean, a little different than what we were used to back with the John Deere when we ran that, and a gearing off we've had. Gearing off did a really good job. It's just when we switched from 20-inch rows to 30s, we went with this head. So it's kind of new to us, pretty interesting. Hope you enjoy. Another thing, since we're sitting and waiting, about 5 o'clock, we're going to change the oil in it. If you just right there, we hook a hose up. We turn this little right here, and that opens it up. Drain it into the bucket. New oil filter, new oil. Should be like a new machine. Oh, Uncle Tom. Alright, it's probably about 5:30 here. Dad and brother's still in there working on that corn head. You know, it's kind of that farming thing, you know, when everybody else is working, you can't just go take a nap. Kind of be nice, but you just can't do that. So it's kind of loud. Right now we got our fan going behind us. That fan blowing into that grain bin right there, just circulating the air. We've been drying corn, pushes the moisture right up out of the top. So, you know, once we cool it and throw it through that dryer and it runs up there and drops in there, there's still a lot of moisture, so that helps blow that out. I got my semi staged. Pretty much I'm going to run the corn out of this bin that's behind me, and we are going to go up, drop into that leg, up that big spout right up there, and drop it in the semi and haul it to town. Make a little ethanol out of it, renewable fuels. And we even have some helpers today. So before I start, what I want to do is I want to make sure I load out. See, so instead of dumping the wet bin or anything, I'm gonna pull this. What's neat about that is way up there, it switches a lever. It throws it so it loads out. So we got to make sure we do that. And I want to make sure the big leg, when it really handles the grain, I want to hit this button, make sure we're kicking it on, let it warm up. And after that, you pretty much come over here to this bend. You see that bearing spinning? So I know it's running. Alright, I think we're set to go. Got our load out. Oh, I better make sure that new trailer that I got going on, that we're going to be loading. Remember the front half, you know, we can't dump corn in because there's that. I want to make sure I'm doing that. Go over to this big bend. Open this little box. We hit. Pull the left lever. That. We got corn moving. You never want to start a loaded auger. You always want to shut it off and empty an auger. If you start a loaded auger, it could twist a bearing. So let's make sure this is all going to work right and correct. Well, as you can see, Bob's job is to put the new, I call them knives, on the snapping rolls. My dad puts it back together, and I was tearing apart. We do that, and then we know who to blame when something goes wrong. So that's why I get the tearing apart down job. You can't blame me. So as you can see, the corn's jumping into the trailer. Hopefully we can get about 800 bushel on here. I pulled the semi in this way, just because the wind's blowing all the dust and the bees wings out the back. Keep it off the truck. You don't want to be sitting up here
breathing in all that dust. So when you're loading trucks, we got the front haul. I'd move the truck forward a few more feet. I'll fill up that. Probably move it up 3 more feet, let it fill there, and then dump in the back hopper. So you just keep moving ahead. I'm not too worried of overfilling this. I don't think there's any way. I don't think, unless we put corn up here and all over, you know, to be legal, I think we're good. So we'll keep filling her up. So when I went down there and bought this trailer, like I said, I didn't think it was really what I wanted. You know, I drove all the way down there. I already had the semi. I thought it was the right trailer. I mean, after you drive 140 miles with a semi, and I'm no semi driver, that's the thing. I'm a farmer. Man, I'll give those guys credit. It's a lot of work. But by the time I got down there and the guy showed me the trailer, I called the other 3 chiefs, other 2 chiefs, I mean, and I told them what was going on. We agreed just to take it. I'm hoping this is going to be our first big load. I know I took it in with soybeans, but we didn't really have it packed. So it's going to be interesting to see how many bushel we can get on this trailer, even though it's missing about, I would say that's a good 3 feet. You know, trailer space. Normally you can get 1,000 bushel, like on our old one. So I'm hoping we can get 800 on it. So we're going to see. I'm going to try to get her a little load up. Push the limit a little bit. I know I can't overweight it. When you're loading semis, there is weight limits, but I know I can't break it on this one. So I'm going to hopefully get 800 bushel. We'll see in the morning, get the final result, if this trailer can do 800 or not. Well, first time loading her didn't work out like I thought it would. Guess I got to grab the shovel and do a little shoveling. You'll get it. I'll get her down though. New trailer. Couldn't see from the back. Didn't know kind of the distance, you know, but looks like you can get probably 2, 3. That second pile you're gonna have to shut down pretty quick, but we'll get her. Now a little bit of shoveling.